She laughed. That sharp, dismissive kind of laugh that cuts deeper than words ever could. Like I was just some naive boy she'd long since outgrown. "What are you going to do?" she said, eyes glued to her phone, a smug grin tugging at her lips. "Break up with me?" Then, as if to twist a knife, she angled her screen just enough for me to see it. The name, Ethan, her ex, the one she swore she hadn't spoken to in years. The one who, in her words, meant nothing. But there it was, hearts and messages, a shirtless photo of him, and her reply beneath it, "I miss you more than I should." That laugh of hers died the moment I turned and walked away. I didn't yell. I didn't slam a door. I didn't even glance at her. I walked to the bedroom with a silence heavy enough to crush. I opened the closet and reached for the gunmetal box on the top shelf, the one she assumed was filled with random tech junk. Her smirk began to crack. "Wait, what are you doing?" Her voice lost its edge, suddenly trembling as she stepped forward. But I was already busy. Not with clothes. With documents, USB drives, files, cold clinical motions. Her face paled as she watched the truth unfold piece by piece. That box wasn't full of cords. It was full of consequences. That's when it clicked for her. The scope, the inevitability, the end. We had built everything together over 5 years. This apartment, our shared dreams, our carefully nurtured wedding fund. I had believed in us, in her, in partnership. She, on the other hand, had believed in power, control, manipulation. Looking back, the signs had always been there. The way her smile tightened whenever I mentioned certain people, the secrecy around her phone, the sudden appearance of new lingerie I never got to see. But love is a patient liar. Trust, blind and loyal, makes excuses long after the truth has turned its back. The first time I saw a message from him, it was an accident. She was asleep, and her phone lit up with a preview. "I still remember your scent." I froze. My stomach knotted. I wasn't hunting for betrayal, but it found me anyway. That night, I didn't wake her, didn't scream. I read everything. For hours. For days. I quietly backed up her entire message history. Screenshots. Emails. iCloud access synced to my old laptop while she was in the shower. And then I watched. For 3 weeks, I became a shadow in my own home. I kissed her good morning. I made her coffee. I smiled at her lies. And I documented everything. Every sneaky hotel charge. Every deleted photo. Every meeting with Ethan. I recorded it all. I wasn't just gathering proof. I was preparing a reckoning. She thought she had me pegged. Soft. Predictable. Harmless. But I wasn't raised to explode. I was raised to strategize. While she played games, I learned the rules and rewrote them. She had partial ownership in the company I started. Thought she was clever. She didn't know I'd revised the contracts months earlier. A clause added discreetly. Any infidelity, proven and documented, would void her stake entirely. She had access to our joint wedding fund, but didn't know I'd already moved every cent into a private trust under a different name. Quiet moves. Precise. Legal. Bulletproof. So that night, when I opened that suitcase, it wasn't for clothes. It was for the evidence, categorized, timestamped, duplicated. 1 copy for my lawyer. 1 for the board. 1 for her boss, who, conveniently, was part of my poker group. She was trembling now, standing there like a child caught red-handed. "This isn't what you think," she whispered. A final attempt. A dying lie. I zipped the suitcase and turned slowly. "Don't," I said. "Don't insult us both." She tried to reach for me then, tears rising in her eyes like she thought they still held power. But I'd seen the hotel keys. I'd read the messages. That wasn't a mistake. That was a choice. Many, in fact. I walked past her without another word, left the key to the apartment on the kitchen counter. I didn't say goodbye. I didn't need to. The aftermath wasn't loud. It was swift, clinical, effective. Her firm let her go within the week. Morality clause. Reputation concerns. The board removed her stake, legally bound and airtight. She tried to fight it. She lost. Friends? They saw the photos, the receipts, the messages. She tried to spin it, claimed emotional neglect. But I had years of date nights, sweet notes, thoughtful gifts, all archived and time-stamped. She tried to sue for her half of the wedding fund. She didn't know it was locked away under my mother's maiden name in a trust she could never touch. And Ethan? He left her 2 weeks later. Said he wasn't interested in drama. Said she wasn't worth the fallout. She tried to reach out. Once through a call, blocked. Then through an email. Ignored. Finally, she begged for a meeting. Just to talk. I sent one sentence. There's nothing left to talk about. You already said everything to him. Now I live quietly. Clean. Alone, not bitter, just awake. People think revenge has to be loud, full of fire and fury. But mine wasn't. It was methodical, controlled, complete. I don't believe in second chances anymore. Not when the first was thrown away for a grin and a screen. What I do believe in is closure, justice, and the quiet kind of power that doesn't need to announce itself. So no, I didn't yell. I didn't cry. I didn't beg. I packed. And when she saw what I was packing, when she saw just how thoroughly I had dismantled the empire she thought she ruled, she finally understood.